Now we will read the chapter Scope and Relation to Science and Social Science. Cited previous year's question paper analysis reveals that one or two questions from this chapter is generally asked. Questions asked from the topic like interdisciplinary natures of EVS curriculum, etc. The scope of EVS focused on the multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary nature of the subject. While studying the different components of environment, one has to take help of physical science like physics, chemistry, geology, etc. and also social science like economics, politics, sociology, etc. While dealing with environmental problems like the water pollution, one has to collect information about different water pollutants, their chemical reactions with water, and the physical and chemical process of polluting the water. Knowledge about the physical science like chemistry, physics, etc. is very important. It is essential to have some background of the social science like psychology, sociology, economics, etc. to examine the behavior of the people. The physical science like geology helps in providing information about the availability and types of nature resources in the interior of the earth. While preparing master plan for the conservation of resources in a particular region, one has to consider economic motives and behavior of the people in that region. The environment of the region or the nation is affected by economic and political structures as well as by the culture of the country. Environment and science. In contemporary world, development is guided by rapid growth in science and technology. It is important that all developments in technology should be environment friendly so their technologies can be used without damaging and compromising environment. Today, new technologies are being invented and developed which are promoting the conservation effort and causes minimum damage to the environment. Examples: wind energy, solar energy, pollution free cars. We know environment is made of two components, biotic and abiotic. Biotic components includes plants, animals and microorganisms, and we study all these in biology. While abiotic components includes temperature, pressure, heat, energy, air, etc. and these studies in physics and chemistry. So it can be concluded that environment shares close relationship with the three streams of natural science, that is biology, physics and chemistry. Environment and society. The society is now awakened towards environmental problems, and they are concerned about the quality of environment that has reached to almost its peak. The environmental improvements measures being costly and long-term investment of time, money and resources may jeopardize the public interest and the implementations of environmental improvement programs. Environment and politics. The interaction between environment and society depends largely on the social and political system within which arise the environmental and ecological problems. The ecological situation varies from one country to the other, and the region to be other because of uneven distribution of natural resources, uneven economic and social development, dissimilarities of demographic factors, varying viewpoints of the governments and individuals toward environment, etc. Continuous but exceedingly increasing rate of rapacious exploitations of natural resources and uncontrolled development by the developed world. Monopolistic groups and selfish international companies are responsible for alarming situations of grave environmental crisis and ecological imbalance. These days, few governments lays more emphasis on the social importance of natural resources, environmental and ecological problem on the argument need to tackle these problems. Environment and resources. The present society has to educate the future generation in the light of resources of the country which are to be utilized adequately. The resources are fundamental base for the economic growth and development of human being, but their withdrawal from the nature mode of their uses by human beings and their disposal have enormous adverse effect on the environment. It is thus imperative to study the linkage between use of resources and the environment. The natural resources in the sum of matter and energy are vital significance for the survival of all types of life on the planet. Therefore, the meaning, classifications, assessment and evaluations, use and abuses, conservation and management of all sorts of resource, either natural or cultural, renewable or non-renewable, are very significant aspects of environment. So, meaning, classification, assessment, evaluation, use and abuse, conservation and management, these all are important to know for all the resources. It may be natural, cultural, renewable or non-renewable. Environment and geography. The field and study of geography is earth and man. Earth includes physical, biological, social, cultural and economical components of environment with reference to man. Thus, geography is the only discipline that can purpose the study of environment and organism as whole, because as regards physical STEAM, it is geography that excels other science, because geographers have the knowledge of structure, geometric process, climate, vegetation and soils, while other scientists specialize in only on those aspects. Being an interacting science, geography synthesizes all the elements and components of plant, earth into body and links the social science with the natural science. The geographers, besides identifying complex relationships between man and physical environment, have the capability of locating and distribution of such relationships in space, mapping them and employing the causes of variation of distribution. Environment and health. Health of a person is the result of interaction of a large number of influence upon the person. These can be considered as genetic influence, behavioral influence and environmental influence. Genetic, behavioral and environmental. Genetic influence. Genes determines the physical and psychological characteristic of an organism. The physical and psychological characteristic of an organism, genes determines. The inherited abnormalities manifest as the hereditary disease which are passed on from parents to offspring. Behavioral influence. Alcoholism, smoking, use of drugs, tobacco chewing or irregular food habits causing various kinds of health problems. Environmental issues. Various components of the environment expert their influence on the health. This can be grouped under physical, chemical, biological, sociological and psychological factors. Models of transmission of disease. disease causing pathogens reaching humans in various ways, which are described below. Contact transmission. Some disease can be terminated either by direct physical contact with the infected person or the causative agent can be transmitted to the host indirectly by contact with the infected articles. Vector transmission. Vector is a carrier of pathogens. Mosquitoes spend a part of their life cycle in water, and it works as vector for disease like dengue, malaria, chikungunya. Sanitations and other problems in habitations. Under unregulated growth of habitations, inadequate infrastructure facilities, and lack of proper facilities for collect, transportation, treatment, and disposal of waste have all contributed to increased pollution causing health hazards. Lack of proper toilet facilities, especially in villages, towns, and slum areas of cities, doesn't permit proper disposal of human waste, which in turn leads to improper sanitary conditions and health hazards. Scarcity of clean drinking water is one of the major causes for the spread of many waterborne diseases. Poor drainage or improper drainage results in accumulation of wastewater in public places in villages, towns, and cities. Animal excreta and movement of cattle in and out of water pools and puddles spreads the fleet over large areas, further causing sanitary problems.